Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday. It is Wind Down Wednesday. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I mean, I know what it looks like outside, so I know that it hasn't been the most pleasant of mornings, afternoons, and evenings. We've been dealing with a lot of clouds, fog, and mist all day, and that continues to be our story even as we head into this late hour. Welcome to everyone that's joining us on any of our streaming platforms: Roku, the Fire Stick, Amazon, and of course, thank you to everyone that's streaming on YouTube. Feel free to throw some comments and questions in the chat, and I will be here to talk about it a little bit more than I can do through the TV. So as you know, we are tracking lots of fog out there. I want to take you to BWI Airport. If you look hard enough, you can see that there's a plane right there. I think it's a Delta plane, but don't quote me. I don't have my glasses on. But what you can see in this screen is that the fog is thick out there. And it is a bit, is it a Delta plane? Is it a Delta plane?
Yeah, it's Delta.
Delta plane?
I don't- I
Hold
don't
on, hold
have-
on one second.
I don't have any
There we go.
glasses.
You don't have any glasses?
I don't have any glasses. I don't need glasses, thankfully. Both of my parents have glasses, though. But that is a Delta airliner parked there on the. It's probably a 727 too. It's a smaller plane.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
to.
We appreciate you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Atlanta.
Yeah, Alan Devlin, everybody. Alan Devlin. So very gloomy out there. We have been dealing with these conditions all day. The first alert has been in place. We knew that we'd see some lighter rain earlier in the day. It'd be misty. It'd be dreary. Want to give you that heads up that it's probably not the best day to do something that requires a lot of activity outdoors, unless you're okay with being misty. But we're also watching for another round of heavier rain to push into the area as we head into the next few hours. Also, a dense fog advisory was issued by the National Weather Service during our evening newscast. And if you were with us at 3 o'clock, we were pointing out the fact that we were seeing reduced visibility across the area. That was probably going to be an issue heading into the evening commute, and it's still an issue right now. Dense fog advisory in place for all of the communities you see highlighted here until midnight. So we have, about 4 more hours of dealing with this. The visibility pretty much less than a mile for the next few hours. We do expect it to gradually improve as we get past midnight, and then we have to focus on the rain because we've already seen some communities get some heavy downpours already this evening. Started to move into Cobb County, Bartow, Cherokee counties. Folks that are down in Paulding County have seen that, as well as Douglas. What we are tracking is a flood watch that started at 7 o'clock this evening and is in effect until 7 o'clock Friday. We're going to be watching because we fully expect the National Weather Service to probably extend or reissue a watch at least for Saturday, because we look to see some heavy downpours come back in. Some rumbles of thunder will be likely as well during Saturday morning and early afternoon. Here's a look at the lay of the land right now, and you can see those showers pushing in. This looked a little bit more aggressive as it was pushing through Alabama. We had some thunderstorms. We had some 40 miles per hour wind gusts as it was moving into Cleburne and Randolph counties. Not so much that right now. The winds are still gusting 20, 30 inside of this, but this isn't something that we're concerned about for severe weather. This is really just going to be a bit of a nuisance. We can zoom in and see some of those showers starting to move into Marietta, Smyrna, stretching towards Mableton. Folks that are in Powder Springs getting some heavy downpours right now, as well as folks that are in the Alpharetta, Roswell areas. That's going to be moving into your communities as we head through the next few minutes. This is stretching to the north, all the way into places like Ball Ground. Lighter showers on the backside of this. The tail end of this is stretching down towards folks that are in Coweta County, Carroll County as well, picking up on some of this. So folks that are in Carrollton getting a good bit of rain. Meanwhile, temperatures are going to gradually warm as we head through the evening hours. Normally, temperatures cool through the overnight. Sometimes it's fast if there's no clouds. Sometimes it's fast if there's a gusty northwest wind. Sometimes it's fast or slower if there are lots of clouds. But warming typically only happens at night if you have a warm front lifting through. And we're definitely in that warm sector. We're getting some warm air advection across our region this evening. So we'll see those temperatures gain another degree within the next 2 hours, and we'll kind of climb into the low 60s through the early morning. So expect for a very mild but gross-ish start to the day tomorrow as we head into your Thursday. And we mentioned yesterday, we've been mentioning all week that the risk for severe weather was pretty low with this event, but that risk is non-zero. We do have a level 1 out of 5 risk for strong to severe thunderstorms across extreme West Georgia. You see these communities, really just the border communities that are hugging the border and into portions of East Alabama. That level 1 is for the potential for some damaging wind gusts, some heavy downpours, and you see that there's an isolated tornado risk. A lot of the data that we're getting here is not really showing the high helicity. It's not showing a whole lot of spin, but that number is non-zero. So this isn't going to be an outbreak. If anything happens, if there's any severe storms here, there's just a very low end potential. We want to give you the heads up. We'll be monitoring for it. And now you know. The more you know, the more you grow. First alert in place for the storms. Here's how the day unfolds. We do expect the rain rate to increase through the overnight hours. Folks will start to get some downpours, especially the closer we get to about 5, 6. At 7, there will still be some showers out there. Most of the showers will be lighter in nature, but you see that there are some dark reds that are moving across portions of North Georgia. That's going to indicate isolated heavy downpours. So there will be some slick spots. If you're getting on the roads in the morning, driving down the streets, just make sure that you're taking it easy. You start to see the rain coming down heavy. That means you can't be going 75 on a 55. At that point, you should probably slow down a little bit. As long as you do all of that, keep that First Alert Weather app handy, because we will tell you when you are running into heavy downpours, when there's lightning, and of course when there are flood warnings that are issued. We'll be watching this train of moisture just continue to flow in and out of the region throughout the afternoon. We're going to keep at least some form of a rain chance throughout the day, but as we head into the evening, guidance has been pretty consistent with this. If you were with us on this stream yesterday, if you were with us on Monday, Thursday afternoon commute looks to be where we get some heavy downpours. That main line looks to be pushing in. There's kind of a weird front that's oriented on the backside of this system. It's going to slowly migrate, and we're going to get pulses, waves of energy that move through the area along that boundary as it slowly moves in. So Thursday evening looks a little messy, heavy downpours, winds will get a little breezy. We'll be tracking that by 8 o'clock. A lot of this starts to dissipate. You'll start to see the rain rates decreasing through the evening, and as we approach midnight heading into Friday, any rain that pushes through should be pretty light, spotty in nature, kind of misty, drizzly, kind of like what we've been dealing with all day today. That's what we're going to be tracking as we head into your Thursday. Friday's rain, if you were with us Monday, you were with us yesterday, it's been going back and forth. Best guidance right now for rain has rain arriving again late Friday. These are waves and pulses of energy that are going to be moving through, so timing them out isn't as easy and as specific as timing showers and storms that are associated with a frontal boundary, because this is a boundary that's there and it's just going to be waves of energy. So we'll get a little bit better lock on Friday as we head into the day tomorrow. For now, looks like Friday evening is our best chance of getting some showers. Heading into Saturday, there's a little bit that we know about the environment that's given us the ability to say that there is a chance that we could get the risk for some severe thunderstorms. Once again, it's looking like this would probably be a lower end risk just based off of the timing and just the setup with all the clouds and the ceilings low and the cap and all this other stuff. But we'll be watching because there will be some warm air getting advected into the region, upper 60s, low 70s. There's going to be some cape around. Right now, a 15% chance of there being a severe thunderstorm guidance issued for Saturday. Here's how that day unfolds, and this hasn't changed a whole lot either. We do know that some of that moisture is going to start to filter in as we head into the morning, so while some folks will be dealing with cloudy skies and light rain, the further west you are, the better chance you will have to see some showers and thunderstorms rolling in 7, 8, 9 o'clock Saturday morning. We do expect that to move through the late morning and linger into the early afternoon. Notice where we're seeing some of these deeper, darker colors on this map. It's north and east of the city. This trend has continued to hold steady as well. And that's going to make a little bit more sense whenever we get to the rainfall map, which I believe is the next graphic that we're going to go to, because guidance has been pretty consistent here. We always talk about low resolution data. Not to get nerdy, beyond 48 hours, we start to look at low resolution data, and we're not really looking at specifics, more so trends. And we continue to see trends for heavy moisture moving in, especially the second half of this event, Saturday, Friday into Saturday. That trend has been for that to be north and east of the city. So we'll track those showers. There's going to be some lingering rain early Sunday morning. If you're out in the streets Sunday morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning, midnight, 1, 2 a.m., you'll probably get wet, but the later we get into the morning, we get closer to 8, 9 o'clock, the sun rises, those rain chances will start to gradually diminish. And we expect to be mainly dry Sunday after 9 o'clock. There's about a 20% chance of showers after that. Temperatures are going to trend cooler as we start to see that front push completely through, and then we're going to start to see breezy winds as the parent low pressure system starts to pull away. So the winds are going to be a little bit breezy Sunday, although it'll be drier. It will not be as warm, so we're not going to be in the upper 60s, 70 degrees like we're going to be the next few days. So that's going to be a big change in the forecast. Now here's a look at the rain totals, and something that has been consistent, and I mentioned yesterday, don't get hung up. I specifically said Marietta yesterday. I pointed out the models yesterday were showing about 1.5 inches of rain, and I told you don't get hung up on that 1.5 inches. Look at the broader story, and the broader story yesterday was 2 to 4 inches. The broader story now is increased to about 2 to 5 inches of widespread rain, and you can see that most locations of the models have started to come along into that. There was a lot of 1.5s, 1.6s yesterday. The models have now got between 2 and 4 for the most part. There's going to be some areas that get a little bit more than that where we get training, and we're looking at those areas that you see, those blues, those purples, north and east of the city. 4, 5, maybe even as much as 6 inches of rain throughout the event. This isn't just a Saturday event. This is the totals from now through Saturday night. So lots of rain coming. That's why there's flood watches. Flood watch has been issued for a large chunk of North Georgia. We're worried about a lot of runoff because all this water has to go somewhere. But specifically where we get training of thunderstorms, there are low-lying areas right here in Midtown. I get off at the 14th, 10th, 12th, 14th Street exit. The 14th Street exit is anytime it rains, the water collects there, and literally 2 of the lanes are flooded out. You know your commute, you know your life a little bit better than me, plus there's millions of you. I can't know all of your daily driving habits, but what I can tell you is that you'll want to be on alert, especially as we head through the next few days, because those roads that you travel every day that you know better than me where they flood when it rains heavy, that's going to be a problem area. So just prepare for that. Don't change your life. Just approach those areas with caution. Me, when I get on 14th Street and it's raining, I know that at this point I shouldn't be going 45. I should probably take it down to 25 because I need to get all the way over into the right lane, and the right lanes are flooded. So I'm going to have a shorter window. So that's all I'm saying. Just adjust accordingly. Good evening, Tanya. Is it going to rain all day Saturday? It looks like it's going to be an on and off situation on Saturday. Looks messy. Looks like late morning, early afternoon is the heaviest, but looks like there's another wave later in the day. So unfortunately, looking a little damp. Of course, we're going to have some high resolution data tomorrow. I'll be able to give you some better specifics because that'll be within the 48-hour window. But for now, just looks messy in the late morning, early afternoon, and then there's another pulse of energy that should be moving in later in the day. So hopefully we've given you what you needed to know. We're not done yet because we have to get to the 7-day forecast. Still can't get over how foggy and gloomy it looks, like Gotham City out there. We've been showing those shots throughout all of our newscasts today, and it continues to be just a very eerie, gloomy, nasty-looking situation out there, and that's going to continue to be our story for the next couple of days. So the first alerts for us, they're heads up. We want you to know that this isn't going to be the most pleasant day. I was actually joking with one of my producers, and Alan actually a couple of minutes ago, because it's been so gloomy today, yesterday, and then before that it was so cold and frigid and uncomfortable. Like I was thinking the last time that I could comfortably go outside and run, and it's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks, I think like 2 weeks since I've had like a good outdoor run. And so I'm looking at next Wednesday because next Wednesday is that day for me. So I've issued my own self a personal first alert for Wednesday for me to go outside and run because it's going to be amazing compared to what we've been dealing with for the last 2 weeks. But these next few days, these first alerts are because this system's going to be around. It's going to be gloomy. There's going to be patchy fog, clouds, rain, thunderstorm opportunities in and out of the area. Just not the most pleasant. And the best way for you to stay on top of that is to have our first alert weather app. I know we tell you that all the time. Number one, because we want you to have it so that we can reach more people with weather. But also, it's pretty dope how it'll tell you where the downpours are a mile away from you, lightning is 2 miles away from you, whatever the case may be. Having all of that information in the palm of your hands is pretty dope, pretty awesome. So we have a team of 7 meteorologists. You know all of us, and if you don't, that means you got to vary up your schedule a little bit. There's 7 of us. We work very hard to update that app for you. That forecast is not just for Atlanta. There is one for Midtown. There is one for Buckhead. It's not the one from the National Weather Service at the airport. We do a specialized forecast for you in your location down to your zip code. And if you have that app, not only will we give you all the alerts, but you'll get that pocket forecast. And if you turn on your GPS, we can alert you to inclement weather wherever you travel. So reasons to have that. Tanya asked, is it going to be cold like last week? No, Monday's going to be a little chilly, but check out Monday. 40 degrees in the morning, 51 degrees in the afternoon. We should be 54. It's January. You shouldn't be expecting a 70-degree sunny day. When we get it, it's amazing, but it's typical winter weather. Temperatures in the low 50s. We'll get back into the mid 50s Tuesday, and then we'll get into the 60s next Wednesday. It's going to be amazing. We're not talking another blast of Arctic air right now, which is great. So no worries for those teens that we were dealing with last week in those 30s in the afternoon. So hopefully you got what you needed. I'm going to throw this 7-day up full screen for you and take off my name, because you all know who I am now, so that you guys can get the information that you need before you go. I'll give a couple of more seconds to see if anybody else has any questions. Thank you, Tanya. You're always a joy. You always communicate with me here and let me know that you're out there, and I enjoy your questions. Alrighty, so as you all know, we have a lot of newscasts here, and I'm going to go to the back because still a lot to process. See if we can get this fog out of here before midnight. There's still going to be some areas of fog, but it's really thick right now. That visibility is very low. So if anybody's getting out tonight, just make sure that you are driving with caution. The patchy fog is here and there, and where it is a bit thick. Will there be wind? Tanya asked if there's going to be any wind. There's going to be some gusty winds embedded in some of these stronger thunderstorms that could roll through, mainly west of the city tomorrow. That Georgia border looks to be where we could see some of the stronger storms. It isn't looking like a major event. There's just not a whole lot of forcing. There's a little bit of energy. There's some cape. So any thunderstorm that does get going will have the energy to tap into. It's just not looking like a very favorable environment. It's not the best setup for there to be widespread severe weather. So anything that happens tomorrow is going to be very isolated, which is good news. The best chance of actually getting some wind looks to be Sunday, whenever this parent system pulls away, because as that low pulls away, the gradient's going to shift a little bit, and we'll see those winds. The gradient's going to tighten, and those winds will increase. So Sunday's going to be a little breezy. Could see some wind gusts 30, 35 miles per hour is what we're looking at right now. But other than that, anything else should be pretty isolated and just rogue thunderstorms. Still looking at Saturday. There's still a lot to determine about that environment, that setup. We're still diving into that. That's part of our homework. That's what we're doing right now. But we'll have an update on that tonight for you guys at 10 on Peachtree TV. And then you can check us out at 11 on Atlanta News First. So I will say, I will bid you farewell, and I will see you in about an hour and 45 minutes. Have a good night.